Okay, in this video we're going to start looking at simplifying problems involving fractional exponents, and we use the properties of exponents that we just talked about. So as one example, consider x to the 2/3 times x to the 4/5. Because we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So we'd have 2/3 plus 4/5. So our problem becomes we just have to do the arithmetic 2/3 plus 4/5. So remember, to do that we need a common denominator. For 3 and 5 that would be 15. So it would give us 10/15 plus 12/15 would be 22/15. So then we can write our answer down, x to the 22 over 15. Okay, and that's the process. It's fairly straightforward. The properties of exponents, you make use of them. And then what it's going to involve, though, is doing arithmetic with fractions. As another example, consider x to the 2/5 over x to the 5/8. Because we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. So we're going to do 2/5 minus 5/8. Again, we need to get a common denominator. 16 over 40 minus 25 over 40. And then we simplify, we get negative 9 over 40. So our answer would be x to the negative 9 over 40, but we don't like to write our final answer with negative exponents. So we would take the negative 9 over 40 and simplify it, get 1 over x to the 9 over 40. The negative exponent moves it down to the bottom. Third example, consider x to the 4/3 raised to the 1/5 power. X to the 4/3 raised to the 1/5 power. Since we're raising a power to a power, we multiply. So we do 4/3 times 1/5, and we get 4/15. So the answer would be x to the 4/15 power. Consider this example. Here we have x to the 1/3 times x to the 3/4, all that over x squared. So we have a multiplication in the top and then a division in the bottom, so we're going to have to work those out in pairs. So we could divide one of those by the x squared and subtract our exponents to do that if we want it. Or what I'm going to do is do the x to the 1/3 times x to the 3/4. Now be really careful here. You may be tempted to try to cancel those 3's, and the 1/3 and the 3/4. But we're multiplying not numbers but exponents, so the operation is addition. So we have to do 1/3 plus 3/4. We can do that by getting a common denominator, which would be 12, and we get the answer 13/12. So our problem now would be x to the 13/12 over x squared. And then we have to subtract our exponents, 13/12 minus 2. So again, we get the common denominator, 13/12 minus 24/12 would be negative 11/12. So we'd write x to the negative 11/12. But again, because of the negative exponent, that has to be moved to the bottom, and we get 1 over x to the 11/12. 1 over x to the 11/12. Okay, so that's working with fractional exponents. In the next video, we're going to see how we can use that connection between fractional exponents and radicals to actually simplify problems where we're multiplying or dividing radicals or raising radicals to powers. And so we'll see that in our next video.